In the past, people worked hard, put in real effort, earned their money, and climbed to certain positions by scraping their way up with their bare hands. And the advice they usually gave was simply work hard. Today, instead of these simple pieces of advice, we hear and see things that are far more different and far more flashy. Stories like how I made $500,000 in 1 year, how I bought this luxury villa in 2 years, how I bought this luxury car, or how to make this much money, how to become rich, told in a format that can honestly feel a bit tasteless. And what they actually want to do in the end is exactly what we will talk about in this video. Are these stories they tell and these flashy lives they present really sincere? Or are they just a big lie, a deception, or something else done completely without restraint? In this video, we will talk about the realities and those who sell dreams. We will try to bring the truth and their intentions to the surface, and I hope it will be useful. Take a look at social media. Think about the content and advertisements that come up in front of you. Get an education, earn passive income. Here are the ways to become rich. Buy our special course, and you can start making money too. People who took our courses have already started making money. Achieve financial freedom with our limited quota stock market training. Sales training, purchasing training, accounting training, real estate secrets training, artificial intelligence expertise training. The book that changed my life. Now I'm also part of the Rich People's Club. How I bought this luxury car. How many times a day do you come across things like this? How many times a day do you see ads saying, take this course and your life will change? They are all in different fields, but the promise is the same. More money, less risk, faster success, easy money. So does this really make sense? Or is what's actually being sold not knowledge at all, but a dream? In this video, we will talk a bit about all this nonsense and look at the realities behind it. Sit back and relax. Because the funny but real truth is that even this video might serve another purpose beyond the satisfaction I get from sharing my thoughts. Thankfully, I am not promising you wealth, but at least I might help you protect your money and your time. Also, liking the video is free. Now, we shall know the truth, and the truth shall set us free. From the Bible. Today, what is the real reason behind almost everyone introducing themselves as a trainer or even a consultant? Why is selling education so attractive? Is it really this easy? The truth is that when you want to sell education, you have many advantages compared to other fields. For example, you don't hold stock. There's no risk of unsold inventory, no return hassle, no real cost beyond trust me, no clear quality measurement standard. And even if there is one, buyers may not be aware of it. There's plenty of motivation, you can do it too. Lines, countless other promises, and in some cases there may not even be an expiration date. Look, it already sounds appealing, doesn't it? Education is the most profitable product of the digital age. Not knowledge, but the promise of knowledge. What is actually sold in these trainings is not content, but the possibility of becoming something. That means after taking this course, you might become an expert. You might trade in the stock market and make millions, and you might achieve the wealth and luxury life shown in that training advertisement. You can take a course on how to create content for social media, become a phenomenon there, and then come the dreams. What is truly being sold is not content, but the possibility of something happening. If you take that training, you might become rich, build a career, become famous. Possibilities. Possibilities. Another approach that really irritates me is trying to make these sales using the phrase, I did it, you can do it too. Let's talk honestly. What is being sold is actually nothing more than a big dream, a big lie, with no real supervision and no real questioning. And unfortunately, thousands of people pay money for these trainings. These trainings are not always cheap, and sometimes even small prices through mass sales can make very good money for the seller. No matter what the price is, if the promise is big enough, the cost of the training stops mattering. What I don't understand is why so many people believe these things, or at least decide to give them a chance. And it is marketed like this: if you follow the same path, you will reach the same result. The truth is that time, luck, context, and starting point are never the same. There may be thousands of people just like you following the same path, and even that alone can change everything. Besides, why would anyone sell the goose that lays golden eggs? When I asked the trainer, if the stock market education you offer is that good, why are you wasting time teaching? He replied, I want to share my knowledge. I want everyone to win. But when asked why he didn't make it free, he could not answer. This applies to all kinds of people selling various trainings on social media. Even free trainings often indirectly finance the trainer through hidden advertisements in their content. Otherwise, why would these trainers bother with this at all? For example, I cannot even access university professors' lecture videos because their education is actually sold by the institutions they belong to. Have you ever noticed why success stories are always told incompletely? Because, except for rare cases, the reality may not be exactly as it is presented. I had prepared a separate video about this topic, and you can check that out as well. In short, what is actually being done here is this. They say, I made $50,000 in 3 months, you can do it too. And what is being sold is simply the possibility of something happening. These stories are usually a bit exaggerated, maybe partly imaginary, or sometimes just a big lie. We mostly see them as short advertisements. A very luxury car, a luxury villa in the background, a flashy shoot, and something being sold. Let me tell you the truth. In most cases, they rent a villa and a luxury car just for the day and do the shooting that way. I don't know a single truly rich person who advertises themselves like this, except for the rude and the uncultured. In the more realistic yet still exaggerated success stories, they never talk about how many businesses failed before reaching that point. Or sometimes even those stories are fictional. But the real thing that is never mentioned in success stories is the factor of luck. Those famous CEOs are often children of already wealthy families, and they received their starting capital from their fathers. So, do you have a father like that? They never talk about this part. The same applies to the stock market. You make a few attempts, lose tens of thousands of dollars on stocks you buy, maybe then you learn and start winning. That lost money means nothing to some people. But because of this, thousands of people have taken their own lives throughout history. You also need to evaluate yourself honestly and enter this path not by focusing on what you might gain, but by being fully aware of what you are willing to lose. Selling education is a risk-free success. Think about it. When you buy and sell stocks, you take big risks. But if you sell education about it, you take no risk at all. You can try to create social media content and chase algorithms to get into trends, but wouldn't it be much more successful to package that as a course and sell it for a fee instead? Those who buy the training take all the risk. They trade in the market, and if they lose, the responsibility is theirs. They produce content, and if they fail, there must be something they did wrong, yet no one questions the content or the quality of the education. No training guarantees results, and it takes no risk at all. I even watched social media content about growing saffron in a small garden. Everyone was saying something different, no one was questioning it. And when you comment below these videos with opposing views, you actually help them trend even more. By the end of it, I realized that except for content prepared by a university, most of these creators were actually trying to indirectly market the saffron bulbs they grew in their own gardens. And what's interesting is that in some videos, they talk about how extremely profitable it is, claiming they earn millions from a single acre and recommending it to everyone, while even saying they would help voluntarily if you ask. To be honest, a whole market has formed around this. Yes, you heard that right. A seed market. And essentially, every one of these videos is somehow aimed at selling you saffron bulbs. Can you grow saffron and sell it? And more importantly, can you even grow, I don't know, especially since it takes years of your life. But selling education can be very easy. And you can even take it one step further and offer consulting. You take no risk, while the farmers doing the actual work take all of it. If these trainings were really that good, the trainers wouldn't even have time to teach. It's that simple. Other than that, I question everything that is being told. In the stock market, real money is made quietly. Big funds and investors do this professionally, while others try to outsmart each other. And remember, especially in the stock market, this is a two-sided game. Someone buys, someone sells. This cannot go on with everyone winning, and one side will always lose, particularly day traders. The ones who truly do this work do it quietly, and those who make noise are usually the ones selling the business model. Passive income, earn money independent of location, and make money while you sleep are not education. They are either dreams, products, very cheap ads, or outright scams. And the moment I hear these phrases, I run the other way without looking back. When someone takes training and fails, why is it always the person who is labeled as the one who made a mistake? The psychology behind this is simple. If you failed, the problem is you. You must have done something wrong or incomplete. You acted too fast, you were not patient enough. So the fault is on you, not the system. And this is exactly how pyramid schemes work. You are expected to recruit people, and they tell you a fairy tale about earning commissions from each of the first 100 members you bring in, and more money from the people those members recruit, while first requiring you to buy two $50 product packages and then sell similar sets to those you recruit. But in order to get paid, you are told to bring in the first 100 members, which almost never happens, and you are pushed out of the system. The promise is that after hundreds of members, you will earn huge amounts of money. This is a lie. It is called a Ponzi pyramid scheme, and when the pyramid eventually collapses, no one gets paid. The Ponzi system is officially defined in international literature as a form of fraud. Coming back to education, this is essentially a mechanism for transferring responsibility, and it works for both sides. For the person who buys the training, the belief is, if I take the right training, it will work. Ambition and ego can easily drive us into this mindset. My cousin, who is now 60 years old, has not found a job for nearly 15 years, did not like the jobs he found, and always blamed his situation on bad luck. Now, at over 60, the question he asked me was whether doing a master's degree at the right university might get him accepted as an academic. He attended dozens of certification programs before. But sometimes, if things are not working, they are simply not working, and the problem may not be the trainings you took. At some point, this needs to be understood. So, for those selling education, there is no real problem at all. Whether the people who buy it find jobs or not is considered purely their own responsibility. There is also something called certificate inflation that we need to talk about. When I look at the blue pages of the business world, I see that everyone is certified, everyone has a certificate. Some people even share new certificates every week or every month. Yes, everyone has a certificate, but in reality, almost no one is truly competent. The truth is that certificates do not prove competence. They only show that you attended a course. Apparently, this does not work either because we keep sharing more and more certificates. I believe we have a serious focus problem. Why don't we try focusing on a single subject and actually becoming an expert in that field? There is also this fact: real work is learned in the workplace. What truly matters is placing people who have the ability and motivation to learn in the right positions, So why are success rates never shared in the education market? Except for university degrees or international exams and certifications, success rates are never published because they serve as advertising both for the trainer and for the person sharing the certificate. Yet the expectations on each side are completely different. We cannot know how many people who take these trainings actually become successful, because what is being sold here is not success or an official guarantee, but simply a piece of paper and a hope. Why do education sellers always say last remaining spots? Unfortunately, this is also common, as if there was some kind of factory production happening. In the end, the real thing being sold in education is hope. Hopelessness is expensive, but hope is even more expensive. I personally took dozens of courses and earned many certificates with the hope of finding a job. And now we also have online education platforms that even give certificates after 2-hour courses. Sounds nice, doesn't it? In a world where everyone is a trainer, expertise loses its value. Becoming a trainer is easy, and once I met someone who had no real expertise or work experience, yet managed to publish a technical book, later got a job, but struggled badly when it came to operational expertise in the very topic he wrote about. In my opinion, writing that book and being able to deliver theoretical training afterward was a skill in itself. In conclusion, you can be a trainer in a field. You can even become a manager in a company. But being an expert is something else entirely. It cannot be sold, it cannot be achieved quickly, and it is directly tied to real skills and abilities alongside education. Popular education topics are always built around the same headlines. When you look at the best-selling section, you see stocks and crypto, digital content creation, commerce and drop shipping, making money with artificial intelligence, personal branding and coaching. If you pay attention, all of them promise quick results. So does that mean no education should ever be taken? You need to find a balance point and realistically anticipate what you expect. Education itself is not bad, but education taken with false expectations becomes problematic, drains your time and money, inflates empty hopes, and eventually leaves you disappointed. That is why being realistic is important. You can take a course and see what happens. You can try certain things. But from the beginning, you must accept the value, capital, and time you invest so that if you fail, the disappointment cannot seriously harm you. The unspoken truth in education sales is the disappointment people experience when their expectations are not met. So much so that when you buy many trainings, they do not even put you through a level assessment test. Maybe you are actually not good at this subject. Maybe you are better at something else. But for those selling education, that is not what matters. What matters is being able to sell. Maybe after you buy the training, they genuinely make an effort for you. But if you are not suitable for this work, what really changes? You need to gain awareness of your own reality. If you are bad at something, accepting it is not difficult. It is more honest. and no one will judge you for it. Why is real learning not popular? Because it takes time, it hurts, and the outcome is uncertain. You can go and take piano lessons or enroll in a chess course, but in some fields like these, becoming an expert may require starting at a very young age. That is the core issue. You can still go and take lessons. If you have a hidden talent and it emerges after the age of 40, you might even continue your career as a pianist. You will probably realize this after a few months of lessons. In fact, you should realize it. If your instructors are sincere, they will tell you this openly. If not, the situation can go in a very different direction. So what can be suggested instead of education? Small, low-risk experiments and learning through real projects. Instead of asking what is being sold to me, you should ask what is being expected from me. Maybe the real problem is not that everyone is selling education, but that no one wants to buy the truth. Thank you for listening. If you liked the video, that too may one day turn into a form of content sales for me. Take care.